here's the side-by-side comparison of the Pointer to the Adler. Now there's a lot of similarities, but there's slight differences as well. So obviously the biggest difference being our buttstocks. Now you're going to see these type of buttstocks on Dickinson's, Adler's, Franklin's, a few others. They all come from the same factory, so they're all going to use that same buttstock. Now this one's got a different buttstock, which we've already talked about. So sort of the similarities. Similarities being our bolts. So here we have the Adler bolt, and here we have the Pointer bolt. So I'll put those next to each other. Let's get it in the light. So as you can see, very similar in profile. They look almost identical from a side-on view. You can see, if we look, get the fucking light properly, we can see the back of the bolt, particularly down here. This has a cutaway where this doesn't. If we look at a top-down view, the Adler bolt has a cutaway here, whereas the Pointer bolt doesn't. The locking lug is the same though. The actual make of the bolt itself, the length, the extractor, the firing pin is all pretty much the same in the way it's built and put together. Even down to the groove, the feed groove on the side here, also the groove where it sits in the receiver is pretty much the same as well. So you can see the bolts are pretty much identical. Action bar, realistically that's where the similarities end, because although it does look the same, there are a lot of differences. So our action bar, as you can see, the Adler action bar is a two-piece. We've got a steel action bar itself where the bolt sits, and our cocking piece here to cock the trigger mech. We have a separate collar that goes over the mag tube, whereas on the Pointer, it's one piece, and you can see that that's been, you can see that's been welded together. So that's all one piece, so that actually makes it a lot easier to pull apart. Has a slightly different shape. If I put them side by side, the bolt carrier itself is slightly different, different shape. The length is the same from there to there, but the shape of the cocking piece and everything is different as well. Obviously we have different cocking handles. These are pretty much the same as what you'll see on a Franklin. Our foregrips are different, the spring lengths are different, our end caps are different. Now this one has everything integrated into one cap on the Adler. It's two-piece on the Pointer, which we'll talk about when we do the assembly and disassembly. On the barrel extension, which is where the bolt physically locks into, up to where the locking groove is all the same, but the length is different. And you can see on the Adler, this is our ejector here within the barrel extension, and that's what's going to eject our round out. On the Pointer, they've just gone to a simple knob just there, and that's what we'll do the ejecting. The trigger mechs are different. Everyone's pretty much going to know what an Adler trigger mech is like. This one, very similar, different shapes, but also different trigger guard. The loading gates are different, so there's your Adler loading gate as compared to the Pointer loading gate. The Pointer has a more prominent mag follower, the big red one there, whereas the Adler is kind of hard to see and it's black. Your bolt release buttons are different, receiver shape is different. Now this receiver shape is pretty much the same as the Franklin. Same with, I'm pretty sure the foregrip is the same as the Franklin as well. The front sight on this is very, very similar to the Adler B230 front sight. If that's going to focus for me. This has a heat shroud on the barrel, which is connected by that screw there. This is interchangeable. Why you would want this is beyond me. It doesn't really work as a muzzle breaker, even though that's what it's marketed as. So overall, very similar shotguns, but obviously have their differences. And yes, I've already tried. The barrels are not interchangeable. We can't fit them in between. The barrel physically fits onto the Adler, and the Adler physically fits on the Pointer. but they don't headspace correctly, so it would be very, very stupid to fire that because you would probably have an out of battery explosion and blow the gun up, so don't do that. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's get back into the review.